What is going on, guys? So, I am Eduardo Betancourt from the podcast Legend Killers. Let's just get right to it. I didn't lie to you. Said I would get to disc 2, and here I am getting to disc 2, right? So, let me go down the lineup as usual. So, NXT Rival, Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville, Charlotte versus Natalya, Tyler Breeze music video, hashtag We Are NXT, Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd, NXT R Evolution, Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn, the Four Horsewomen, NXT Takeover Rival, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch versus Bayley. Okay. So this was a bit of a shorter lineup, I think. But so far, this is probably has to be my favorite disc of the 3-disc set. We'll see what happens with disc 3, and I'll review that when I finish that. Now, NXT Rival basically was documentary style, more of an in-depth look of how NXT Rival came to be and how Triple H came up with the idea and stuff like that. And Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville, which was a very good career highlight match for Adrian Neville and Bo Dallas. It was pretty cool to see Shawn Michaels come out beforehand and talk about how crazy and grueling ladder matches really can be, and that was pretty cool. NXT Takeover, Charlotte versus Natalya. This was Natalya's first feud with Charlotte, or Charlotte's first feud with Natalya, however you want to word that. I think this was very good. This was very good in terms of story because Charlotte was out there with Ric Flair, and Natalya was out there with Bret Hart, and this was face versus face, and it was just a very good storytelling match. I gotta tell you, it was probably my favorite of all their matches together. I think the respect given after the match was pretty cool to see. Yeah, it was just a very good match. Okay, so next is the Tyler Breeze music video, which if you guys don't really know what that is, it's just Tyler Breeze singing his theme song in the studio, and there's not really much to cover on that, but I guess it's good screen time for Tyler Breeze. Next is hashtag We Are NXT. This basically, again, was documentary style in-depth look on hashtag We Are NXT and how, and Triple H coining that phrase and the hashtag, and this was kind of the mold breaker to the trend of NXT, where before it was something really cool for indie fans to watch, and I think they've even stated that in disc 1, I believe. So it's pretty cool that they mentioned that hashtag We Are NXT kind of broke off on its own after Triple H coined that hashtag and stuff like that. After that is Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd, which was #1 contender spot for a title match with Adrian Neville. A very good match. A career highlight match for Sami Zayn, along with his next one, Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn. That one was a really good NXT match that I wish I had seen prior. I think Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn has to be one of my favorite ones now of all time. Since I'm just now watching this, one of my favorite spots has to be when Adrian Neville did a backwards handstand cartwheel, whatever that's called. Basically, he was flipping backwards, and Sami Zayn caught him into an electric chair, and just when you thought he was going to go for an electric chair, Sami Zayn pushes him up into a Blue Thunder Bomb, and I gotta tell you, that Blue Thunder Bomb is one of my favorite finishers. I think this match really, it had me fooled a lot of times, even though I already knew the outcome. Yeah, it was just a really good match. It featured everything it should have out of this match. Didn't feature too much, but it featured just right. You know, it featured after the match, it featured before, during the match, and you know, it was good. It was good that they included the aftermatch stuff. And okay, I'm rambling. Next was where they talked about the four horsewomen. Now this arguably has to be my favorite part of the disc because, well, I've become a really big fan of women's wrestling, especially due to NXT. So basically, this covered the four horsewomen, which, if newer fans aren't familiar with, that is Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. And this went into detail about each of these four women individually, and I really enjoyed that they really went in depth on them individually to, you know, show exactly how they differ, and they also mentioned how they how much similarities they all have, and you know, and to showcase that, they showed NXT Takeover Rival, which was Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch versus Bayley, which was the closing out to Disc 2, and it was a great match. I did see this match before, but I had to see it again because, well, I'm a fan of all four of these women, especially Becky Lynch. And Disc 2, so far so good. I wish I could give more detail on the match, but really, words don't do justice. If I were you, I would just watch the matches. Get the disc and watch the matches on your own, or if you have the network, watch the matches you can watch. If you are newer to wrestling and you don't have the network or whatever, I recommend getting this because it's chock full of wrestling matches that I think you'll enjoy. And like me, who was kind of burning out from wrestling, when I first saw NXT, I think it really revitalized my love for wrestling. And even though that doesn't have too much to do with it, my advice to anyone who is just sort of done with wrestling for whatever reason, take the time off you need to, whatever, but get this disc and, you know, see for yourself whenever you get the chance. If you haven't seen NXT yet, or if you have, whatever, just get this disc set. Okay, so disc 3, when I finish, will be reviewed. I'm Eduardo Betancourt. See you later.